Good afternoon. This is Charles Moscowitz live. Welcome to a late night edition of the show. You're welcome to call. This is a live program and I do take calls. 617-396-4830 is the number. 617-396-4830. In the 2 years that President Trump has been in office, I have not seen the deep state more fierce and more determined and more vicious in its attempt to remove him from office. And I think that they're going right for it with everything that they have right now. And it is a very, very scary time for this country, certainly for President Trump and for his family. And I think we just need to understand what's going on here. It is ugly and it is nasty. I think the same phenomena, frankly, is happening in Israel with Benjamin Netanyahu. The liberal left in Israel despises him for the same incoherent and unarticulated reasons that they hate Trump here. And the same deep state internationalist cabal, the Israeli version, is trying to take him out in the state of Israel. I see the same dynamic. And I think it's the same phenomena in terms of the reason that they despise Trump here and they despise Netanyahu there is because he is, and both of them respectively are, nationalists. They believe that the best approach to governing is to protect the interests of their own countries first, respectively. Netanyahu has brought capitalism to Israel. He has brought Judaism to Israel. He's brought strength to Israel. He's helped Israel realign itself in terms of finding its true purpose, economically, politically, spiritually. And President Trump is doing the same thing in the United States. He's putting the interests of his own nation first. And that's why they're going after him. And the approach they're using, at least so far, is not as devastating, thank God, at least not yet, as the approach they used against President John F. Kennedy, if you know what I'm getting at. But it's getting pretty damn close. 617-396-4830. You're welcome to join the program if you happen to be watching right now or listening. 617-396-4830. So the way they're going to get Trump is by picking away at his past business practices, his real estate business, whether he inflated the value of a property in order to get a loan or whether he, and this sort of thing. Now, why they didn't prosecute him back then, if these things are true, these accusations, and I'm not saying they are, but if they are, then why didn't they prosecute him back then? Why now? Maybe because he gave a lot of money to liberal politicians. I don't know. It's possible. And now that he's president, they decide to go after him. Is it just a lot of noise to try to get the American people psychologically to turn on Trump? I mean, it sort of does remind me of Watergate, another example. I think that you could say that of a coup d'etat, of a silent coup as it was called at the time, where the American people eventually got so fed up with the mass and confusing labyrinth of scandals that surrounded Nixon day after day, week after week, with more involvements and more people pulled in, that eventually I think the American people got so sick of it that they finally asked for his resignation, and the Congress went up and said to him, "You got to go." Is that the strategy? Yes, I think that's part of it. And in the case of Trump, they're going after his business. It's an attack on capitalism. It's an attack on the free market. It's an attack on private property, which is an extra bonus for them. You know, you have none other than Maxine Waters now demanding Trump's bank records from transactions he did 10 years ago. That's persecuting someone. I mean, the statute of limitations might have run out on some of these things. Not to mention the fact that Maxine Waters and her husband, it's fairly well known, have had some pretty shady bank deals themselves. I learned this when I was running for Congress against Barney Frank, who helped them get those shady bank deals when he was on the House Financial Services Committee. They made a few bucks on that. A couple of other people have made plenty of money in Congress and in government. Trump was a private businessman. Did he do a few things that maybe, cut some corners? I'm sure he did. I doubt if you're going to find too many businessmen who don't, I'm not here to apologize for it. I will simply point out that it's not relevant to his presidency. It's not the kind of stuff that he's done while in office. Of course, the big story today is that he asked for security clearance for his son-in-law. Oh, my God. First of all, I doubt if there's anything illegal about that. But apparently this is being blown up for the latest Trump shocker. But the point is that these things, the investigation of every minutia of his business is the sort of thing that we can't let it distract him and the rest of us from the affairs of state. And then I would add that if any of these things are true, then they didn't happen while he was in office. So if he's going to be prosecuted for it, he's going to be charged with these kinds of crimes. I don't think he can be while he's in office. I think he has immunity. Unless he actually did something in office, some kind of a high crime or misdemeanor. And that hasn't been proven. I mean, the only thing that sleazeball Michael Cohen pulled out, other than his opinions and a lot of hearsay and a lot of crap about him having something against black people, which is lies, the only thing that he actually could show is that Trump paid off a prostitute. And one or two of the checks went out after he was president. They didn't go out from him. They didn't go out from his campaign. They went out from some kind of a Trump entity. And it's not even proven that that's what the money was for. It just was money made to Michael Cohen to reimburse him. It's embarrassing. It shows some serious character problems for President Trump. Stuff we've all known about. But it's not illegal, at least as far as anything that's been shown so far. It's not a campaign, monies that went to Stormy Daniels. And even if it was, that's a misdemeanor. That's not a crime. And yet this is the Congress is spending day after day on it. It's disgusting. Other than that, all this stuff is stuff that happened before he was in office, so it's not relevant to his presidency. He can't be impeached for it. He can't be charged for these crimes if they are crimes, and I doubt if they are. But if they were, and if they found that he had done something criminal in nature, I don't think he could be charged for it until he's out of office. And quite frankly, I think that if he does continue in office, God willing he will, and is reelected, and I think he will be, then he'll pardon himself before leaving, maybe the last day of his presidency. And that'll be that. These things are old issues that if there was plenty of opportunity for someone to bring charges against him, no one did. So, this is just dredging up old stuff. It's hearsay, and it's a lot of it is statute of limitations issues. And it's just meant to try to hobble him and hamstring his agenda, which is a very positive agenda. And that's what's sad. And I think that we as Americans need to understand that while we need to support President Trump and we need to pray for President Trump every day, and we need to speak out on his behalf, at the same time, to ensure that our country continues on the right path, we need to articulate his movement. This is more than just Donald Trump the man. It's a counter-revolution, actually. We need to articulate what that is and why that's important so that it can transcend any one man or woman. So that way, when President Trump is up at the bat and he strikes out after 3 strikes, after getting probably a few good home runs, then the next batter will be prepared to come up and take the next position. It'll be, in other words, it's not going to be, this won't be stopped by just taking out one man. We don't want to go back to the old days of world order, the days of the Bushes when we had continuous wars, the days of Barack Obama with the growth of the nanny state and the growth of the, surveillance state, which is Obama was obsessed with that. I mean, he is a complete control freak. We want to see a government that serves us and that brings back sovereignty and rights, natural rights, to us as a people. That's what we want to see. So we have to understand the nature of the revolution, the counter-revolution, as I like to say, and as the best means to preserve it and to continue to see it advance, even if they are successful, God forbid, in stopping President Trump. But in the meantime, we need to pray, we need to speak out, and we need to ensure that this deep state and these bastards don't get away with it. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching, and have a great evening, everybody.